Okay, let's get started and welcome back to the session. So today's session, we will be discussing about the most interesting and the most critical and the most important topic on the interfaces. And what I wanted to do, I'll be discussing about the interface. By the way, I'll be mixing up the Selenium so that it will be more appropriate for us to get it understand. If possible, just repeat the same steps which I'm trying to do it of, or else so once after this session, so just try out like what we have done the same way you can if you've done it. So you can get back to me if you have any particular doubts or the clarifications. Okay, so when we wanted to start about the interfaces, so first we should understand why interface, from where it has been born, or why we have to go for the interfaces, and then what is an interface, and then next one is how we need to use the interface. So these are the things which we wanted to discuss. So before going to this one, the first thing which I wanted to talk about is here we'll be talking about the concept of inheritance. So when it comes to the inheritance, I told you, right, we have different types of inheritance are there. The first inheritance is single inheritance or single level inheritance, and then we will be having multiple level inheritance, and then we will be having see, this is multi, not multiple, so be careful, multi level, or this will be called as hierarchical inheritance, and the next one is multiple inheritance. So to give a quick recap on this single level inheritance means what? So I've given you an example. My father is there. My father have his property. So I given a small example in the PPT. Do you remember on that day? Like simple. So I'll just give very quick recaps. Don't worry about it. So this is my father's property. So this is my parent. Okay, and then when it comes to then I earn my own property. So just I will try to send this one back, send to back, and this I will just change the color so to make it very clear. Okay, and this is my property. Okay, so whatever the methods or whatever the properties which it was having in the parent class, that would be accessible by the child class. So this is called single level inheritance. So there will be having a parent, and then we'll be having a child. Clear? Guys, you can stop at any point if you have any doubts. So in this particular parent-child relationship, it's a single level only. Now, what would be the multiple? So easily you guys can guess it. So now we will be giving another bigger circle. So this bigger circle, now this is my son's property. Okay. So now, so this I'll change the color for any other. So now this is my my father's, and this is my property, and this is my son's property, or whatever it might be. So in the parent class, I have two methods and two variables. But whereas it comes to my class, in that particular area, I'll be having two classes of my parent and two methods of my parent, and I'll add another 4 or 5 of mine. So now I'll just write it over here to get it much more clear idea. So now my parent class have 5 methods, and now my class have 5 plus another 2 of my own. And if it is my child, it will go 7 plus his own 3. So totally we will have 10 methods for this. So this is called, so if we have only one parent and one child, then it is called as a single level inheritance. And if you have more levels, then it will call as a multi-level inheritance. We are very much clear with this. Last time also we have been discussed about it. Now, what is the problem we will be coming over here is, for an example, okay, what I wanted to do here, I just deleted it. Now I have this is a class A. Okay, so now I named it as a class A, and I have a class. Okay, so now what I'm trying to tell you is I'm trying to tell you about multiple inheritance. Okay, now this is class B, and then this is class C. Okay, now what I wanted to do is I wanted to extend A class into C, and I wanted to extend B class into C. Okay, for the namesake, we will see how it works. Now, at that point of time, I added some add method is there. Okay, one add method in class A. And the same way, I have another method called add in class B. Now, when I extended class A, comma B, so what is the syntax we will be writing usually? We will be writing it as class public. So public, I'll show all the things practically, don't get worried. So public class, because it's a class, so C, so I'll be extends, okay, A, comma B, which we are trying to do now. So at this point of time, okay, what is the scenario it will happen is, now this add method is in class A, this add method is in class B. For this one, when I try to extend this and I was trying to call add method, now we don't know that from add is coming from A or add is coming from B. So in this particular add, what I'm trying to do is I'm just addition of two variables, and here also I'm doing subtraction of two variables, but I given with the name of add. So the Java will not understand which add we are calling. Are we calling add from A or are we calling the add from B? So this is called an ambiguity issue, diamond deadlock situation in Java. So this is not possible. Multiple inheritance is not supports in Java. Okay, so guys, keep it in mind. Single level inheritance, multiple level inheritance will be supported, and then it works fine. But when it comes to the multiple inheritance, will be not supported in the Java. Why I'm telling all these things? Because this is the place where interface born. Okay, now you got the point, right? Because of this multiple inheritance, so in Java we introduce a concept called interface. Okay, so that is what our first question we have asked. Why interfaces? Means what is an interface? Now I'll show, means rather than explaining in the PowerPoint presentations, I will show how to create an interface and how it looks like, so we can have the feel. Are you ready? Are you guys with me? Okay, now it was a pretty simple. Now what is a WebDriver? Every time you will be thinking like in Selenium, we are talking about WebDriver driver equal to new Firefox driver, WebDriver equal to new this one. What is that? What is a WebDriver? See, if you go for any interview or anything, the first question the people will ask you, what is a WebDriver? Yeah. Selenium WebDriver. So what is the answer for it? Yeah. WebDriver is an interface. So now you need to understand why I taken the concept of interface today. So if you understand what is an interface and how we need to use it, so easily you can complete the complete Selenium. You can understand the complete architecture of Selenium if you understand this particular section. And it is pretty simple, and it is the easiest thing to understand. People, I don't understand why the people think that it has tendency to make it so difficult and hard, but don't worry. Let's get into this. So now first, I'll create a small project, new project. Okay, so I clicked on new project, and I wanted to create a Java project, and I wanted to name this project as interfaces. Okay. So now this is my interface project I created. Great. I created an interface project. Now I wanted to, this is my source. In this source, I wanted to create a package. Okay. So com.int inter.demo. So this is a package which I created. These are pretty simple steps, but we need to follow the standards. That's the reason every time when you guys are creating, just create this. Okay. Now, so here I'm just trying to create. Now, as usual, we will be creating the class. But today's topic is interface. Now, what is interface we are going to create? So all the time we are talking about WebDriver, right? So now we will create WebDriver. We will see WebDriver interface, WebDriver. We'll keep it as interface. Just I'm giving the name. Okay, so that we can easily understand the concept, and easily I will show you how this will work. Okay, now WebDriver interface I created and finish. Wow, it created. So guys, previously you've seen, right? Whenever I created a class, for the class it will come as public class. But when I was creating an interface, so it was coming as interface. So now what is an interface? This is a name which we have been given. Now successfully we created the interface, right? Now we'll see what is the body of this one. We can do it. Now here, what are the WebDriver methods we have? What are the methods you are trying to use for getting for navigating a URL? What is the method you are using? Perfect. So I can use the same thing, right? Get. Okay. And then, wow, what's the error it was showing? So set the return type. Okay, I set the return type, and then wow, I created one method. But boss, what is this? You're just defining the method name, but you are not defining the method body, or you're just declaring the method name. But where is the body? See, if you are in the classes, so how we have been created in the classes? If you go for any particular class, any dummy project we have done, okay, I will show here. So now here, if you create any particular class, okay, in the class we will be defining like this. But why this is not coming like this? Just your means, as I told you, this is the declaration of the declaration of the method, and then this is the implementation of the method, right? Guys, are you with me or not? Yeah. So this is a access specifier, and then this is the return type, and this is the method name, and this is the method declaration, and this is what the body or implementation of the method. But boss, when I come to this one, I'm not defining any body. I'm not defining any implementation. This is called an interface, or this method is called abstract method. What do you mean by abstract? Not implemented. Empty methods are called as abstract methods. Clear? Okay. Now tell me a few more methods. So here we use get, and then what are the other methods we use? We will be using quit, and we'll be using, come on, tell me guys, what are the other methods? Close and open. We don't have WebDriver open, driver.open method, right? Then what else? What are the other methods we have? Get current URL and AG. So any other method names? You're on mute. So I'll actually, in the WebDriver interface, we will not have, okay, we will take only this queue. Later on, I will come back to it. Any other methods you wanted to code, Darren? For the WebDriver? Okay, no problem. Let's start from this. So now these are dummy methods. So now if you see here, I don't have any implementation for this. So this is just a method without having a body. So when a method don't have the body, then this is called as abstract methods. So a group of abstract methods will form an interface. Okay, so a group of abstract methods are formed to be, or combined to form, a interface. Now we see what is a interface. So yeah, any questions guys?
Hello? No, no.
Yeah,
No. Just on mute, just no, sorry.
okay, no problem. Okay, fine. So now we have defined the methods. So these are the our general methods which we used in our WebDriver interface. Okay, I done it. So now what I need to do next? Now we do have some classes are there. Guys, anyone at any point of time, do you remember one pointer? Like I'm writing, see, driver dot get uh, get method. So in this Selenium, what it do? It will navigate to the URL. It works in Firefox. It works in Chrome. It works in IE. But these are different browsers. These are different implementations. But how it will work? So you need to understand the concept of this. So that's where what I'll be doing is now I will create a particular class. So now what is this? This is I created an interface. Now I'm trying to create a class. So now this is a class. What is the class name I'm trying to keep it? Firefox. Firefox, we will be keeping it, right? Firefox. I'll be creating a Firefox class. God. Now, in this particular Firefox class, what I wanted to do is I wanted to implement, okay, I wanted to implement, okay, what I wanted to implement, WebDriver interface, right? I'll just take this particular class name. I was a little bit lazy, so I just copy the things. Okay, and not about only the lazy, we shouldn't give anything wrong. See now, as soon as I trying to implement any interface, see if I'm extending, what is the keyword I will be using? Extends, but interfaces will only implement. So this is the next thumb rule. So interfaces will only implement. So interfaces only users implements keyword. Okay, now second thing is done. And if you see guys, as soon as I implemented, it was throwing me some error message or warning. Okay, I'll just keep the crusher over there and see what it was throwing me. Oh, add some unimplemented methods. What are the unimplemented methods? Just I'll click it. Wow, it generated the code for me. See, now you see here, what are those methods? If you see here, the same 4 methods which we declared, which just we have been just created the method, but we didn't means we didn't given the implementation or we didn't define that method. So those methods we need to define in the classes where we are trying to implement. Okay, now I'll see. Now what I'll be trying to do is I'll create another class. What it will do is we'll see. So now we'll go for another class called Chrome. Okay, so now this is for the Chrome browser, right? So now I'll be taking this and then just I'll try to create it. Now Chrome was created for me. I just added main method. For before we don't have the main method for the Firefox driver, we added now. What I wanted to do here, even here also, what I will be trying to do, I'll try to implement the WebDriver interface. Okay, now if I go here and just I'll paste it. Okay, now once again it was throwing me some error. Wow, once again it was asking me to add. What is this? Here also all these methods means what is our first thing we have to understand is if you are implementing any interfaces, then that particular means for that particular class you need to implement all the methods. You can't say that boss I can use only 2 methods. You can't say that boss I can use only 4 methods. No. If I defined, so totally 4 methods I defined in the interface. In any class, if you implement that particular interfaces, you need to implement all the methods. Okay, now I created Firefox, Chrome, and then quickly I will try to create the same thing for IE. Okay, now I'll be creating it as IE. Okay, now I created it, and so I will just try to implement the same thing. See, once again, the same magic. It should implements all this, guys. You don't get worried about this override. I think when we have discussed about the polymorphism in the last session, we have discussed about loading and overriding. Don't worry, just hold on for next another 15-20 minutes. I'll explain you about overriding and overloading also once again, so that it will be helpful for you. Okay, so guys, are with you me? Yes. Okay, now what I'll try to do is here, it was pretty simple. What I'll try to do, I implement here something. Okay, what I wanted to implement is, I will say SYSO. Okay, I'm just trying to print I am in Firefox. Okay, Firefox, and what is the method name? Get method. Okay, I've written this one. So what I'll be quickly doing, I'll just copy this one. Okay, I'll paste it here. So what is the method? This is quit, and I'll copy once again here. So what is the method? Close. And what is the method? This one, get current URL. Okay, so now get current URL. Okay, so these are the 4 methods. This is what my implementation. But now if I do it for Chrome, I need to do this same implementation, right? So I just save this one. I just come here. I told you I'm a bit lazy. So what I'm trying to do is I just paste it, and I will same methods, because we are implementing with the same thing. That's the reason I take the leverage to copy this one. So now what I'm trying to do is, once again, I'm changing this one into the Chrome, replace all. So now all these are my Chrome methods. Now what I'll be doing, the same approach I will follow for I. Guys, I'm not doing anything rocket science. It was pretty simple to understand. Once again, I will let you know on this one. Don't worry. So now I'm just adding the Chrome, and then I'm just trying to play with the IE. Just I was trying to replace all. So guys, what is the first step we have done? We defined an interface, and we defined 4 abstract methods. I'm taking the real-time example. So in the WebDriver interface, we do taken 4 methods: get, quit, close, current URL. And then we wanted to execute for Firefox browser, we wanted to execute for the Chrome, and we wanted to execute it for IE. Okay, at that point of time, when I try to implement it, so it will bring down my all the methods. So what is the thumb rule we need to add it here? When you are implementing, okay, you need to use, when you are implementing, we will get all the methods. We can't implement like saying that only few methods I can implement. Okay, that's a thumb rule which we have been rotated. Now I'll come back here. Okay, so in the Firefox, what I did, I written for the get method. If you see here, for this get method, my implementation is different. So what is my implementation? I'm trying to print it as Firefox. But the same get method in Chrome, what I'm trying to do, I'm putting it as I'm in Chrome get method. And for IE, the implementation is different, which I'm trying to execute it from the IE. Guys, till now, any questions? Are we good to go?
Write any method in the WebDriver interface now. Whether it will give this one.
Okay, so now I'll be writing another method over here. So now what we'll be doing is manage. This is another method, right? Manage. Okay.
Get title.
Get title or anything. So now I saved it. Guys, see what it happened? Error. It thrown me error. Yeah. If you see in all the files, it thrown me the error. So what I need to do? Simple. I just need to keep here. It will say unimplemented method. So now here also, I need to come here and I need to add unimplemented method. And once again, I should come here. Once again, I need to come add unimplemented method. Now guys, can you tell me, can we create an object for an interface? This is the most important question in almost all the interviews. Can we create an object for interface? That means if you see your code, so in the code we'll be writing, right? You all people remember WebDriver driver equal to new Firefox driver or new Chrome driver. But at that time, why we didn't write web driver equal to new web driver? Can we write that way? Okay.
No.
We will try to see what are the problems. Why can't we write like that? Okay. Don't worry. Just give me a second. I'm just adding the method for this one. Okay. Yes. All my methods are implemented. See now, this method I have methods, and all the 5 methods are implemented in all my class. Clear? Let's get into this. Now, what we wanted to do, I wanted to run this one, right? So for this one, what I will try to do is, I will create one more class. Anyways, it's a free of cost only, right? We can create a number of files, no problem. So here we will commit as runner class. And I'll just wanted to keep one public static main because we wanted to run it from the main method. Now, what I will be doing is, for an example here, anyways, I don't require in these classes. So this is the exact way in our current Selenium. This is the way it works. Whatever I'm telling you now, exactly this is the way the Selenium architecture runs. That's the reason this is very important and critical. Now, just coming to the runner file, what we said, I asked, can we create an object reference for an interface? We'll see, no problem. Driver equal to, okay, new, okay, and then we'll keep it on. What happened? See, what is the error message was giving me? Cannot instantiate the WebDriver interface. So what is the thing we need to understand? For interfaces, we can't create an object. Why? Why can't we create an object? You tell me. Even though if I create an object, if I access this method, what it will give for me? Already it's a dummy method. It don't have the body. Just it have only declaration. So the methods are abstract methods. So when there is an abstract method, so even though if you created an object for an interface, what we can do? So that is a reason. So the methods in interface are unimplemented methods. So that is the reason we can't create an object for interface. Point number 1. Note it down. This is very important. So in interface, all the methods are abstract. So that's the reason we can't create an object for interfaces. And there is another important thing also. Guys, we have already last session we have discussed about lots about the constructor, because that's one of the most important concept in the OOPS. Constructor will be having default constructor and then parameterized constructor. Okay, I'll not get into that particular discussion, but now I'll just try to create an constructor. So constructor will have the same, means the name as same as class. Okay, so here this is not a class. So can I create a constructor? Will constructor will have the return type? Guys, we need to remember this session. We are forgetting again. Constructor is a special type of method. Constructor will be in the same name as the class name, and the constructor will not have the return type. So these are the thumb rules, and the constructor will initialize all the variables. Constructor will helps to create an object instantiation. So these are the 5 thumb rules last time we have been discussed. Okay, now what I'm trying to do, I'll just created a constructor method. Okay, now in this particular method, we just created a constructor. Now we'll see, once again it was throwing me error. What is this error, boss? Just keep it. So what is the error message it was showing? Interfaces cannot have constructors. So this is the most important thing. Okay, guys, 1 second please. So someone wants to join with us. Okay, so ping this immediately, guys. 576 513
513
074
576 513 074.
and password is
Password 009517.
yes. Okay. Sorry for this interruption. Let's come back again. Okay. So we are trying to create a constructor for an interface. Now, what it was saying that? What is the error message? It was saying that interfaces will not have a constructor. So you tell me, then if there is no constructor created, then how it will say this much of space is required? It can't tell that information. Why? Because these methods are not even occupying any space because there is no implementation. So everything is interlinked. So interface will have an abstract methods. So that is the reason it won't occupy the space. So that is the reason there is no need of constructor. Unemployment, not required. Layoff, removed off. So that is the reason we remove the constructor. So you need to remember another important thing is interfaces will not have constructors. Done? Are you with me? Okay. Now, so that this is one of the important questions that people will ask. Whether can I create web driver equal to new web driver? So what is the answer you need to tell? We can't create an object for an interface. Immediately the interviewer asks you the next question. Why? The next immediate before he's asking, you need to tell them, because interface is an abstract interface will have a group of abstract methods. If it is having an abstract method, it will not have the space. If it is not having the space, then there is no point of having constructor. So all methods are abstract methods. This is the one reason. And the second reason is it don't have the constructor. So that is the reason we can't create an object for this. Now, so how I should use this one then? See, I define all these methods, right? Then what I'll be doing is I'll be creating an object for a class. So now this is my class, right? Okay, I'll come here. See, error gone. So this is my parent class and this is my child class. I'm creating an object for this particular class. Firefox, usually we'll be having it as a Firefox driver, right? So same way now I'm trying to create here. See, Firefox. Okay, now I just created in the runner file as means, guys, you remember it, right? So WebDriver is an interface. This is an guys, keep it in mind. This is not an object. This is an object reference. Objects will be created in which memory? Heap memory. You shouldn't forget. These are the basic rules. And new keyword. What the new keyword will do?
It creates a new space.
Not creates. New is a keyword where it allocates the space in the memory. And then what is this? That is a constructor. So which constructor? Default constructor. So many people will say this is a class. This is not a class, boss. This is a constructor. Okay. Now I created this one, right? I will call now driver dot. See, already I got it. Now I will call get method. I call the get method, boss. What it will print? Now, if I execute this statement, see, I am in Firefox get method. See now from where it called? From the Firefox. Okay, so this is a magic now. So quickly, can we do some more things? Now we will call all the methods. Same way we will be calling it, right? In our Selenium also. So now driver dot, what are the other methods have? Current URL. Okay, what are the other methods? We have quit, and then even we can use close. Okay, now if you execute, what methods it will execute? See, every time I'm in a Firefox, get methods, we are executed. Boss, if this is okay, now if I wanted to execute it for Chrome, what should I do? Boss, you do nothing. Just you do here. You come here. Just come and just call this particular. See, what I'm trying to do. Okay, now if I comment this one, okay, now if I execute this one, what it will print? Chrome. Excellent, right? See, I didn't change anything. Once I changed the initialization, immediately it called, see now, this is where these methods or this code, I will not change. If I wanted to execute in the Firefox, then I will assign this driver to Firefox and I will just try to execute it. It runs for Firefox. Now, if I wanted to run it for, IE, you see how simple it is? Simple, I just copy this one and I will assign this one for IE and then I comment this Firefox. Now, if I execute this, see, I'm in IE. Excellent, right? So, the methods are same, but the implementations at the method levels are different because Firefox driver will be given by who gives this particular class?
Firefox.
Mozilla. Mozilla will give this particular class file. And Chrome driver class file. Who will give this? Google. IE. Who will give this IE? Microsoft. Excellent. So now it was very clear, right? So I need to change the driver so that I can execute according to that, and then it will be executed and then it will give me the things. So this concept is called as interfaces. Now tell me how much simple it is. Is it complicated? How much simple it is? Simple, boss. Only the thing is, interface means, to give a fast recap, so group of abstract methods is called an interface. Any doubts? No. Interfaces only uses the implements keyword. When if we tell to a 4th standard guy, he can understand. Simple. Next, third point, when we implement this particular interface, all methods will be implemented back. This is also very clearly understood, and this is very clear. And in interface, all methods are abstract and we can't create an object for interfaces. Same way, interfaces will not have the constructors. So now that's the reason. So our complete architecture was designed in this pattern. So now we can execute it. So that is the reason. Keep in mind, guys, WebDriver is interface. Even if I wake you up in the sleep, you shouldn't forget this. WebDriver is an interface. Okay, and this is our object reference, and this is a new keyword, and then this is a constructor, not the class name. And if I wanted to pass some loaded constructors, we have been discussed, right? So how to create a loaded constructor? It's pretty simple. So now I wanted to create default constructor will be there. Okay, so now how I have to create public? It will not have the return type. Okay, and here you can go SYSO, and then you can say that I am in Firefox default constructor. Okay, now I'll do another thing. So I will create another overloaded constructor. Overloaded means what I'm trying to do. Pretty simple, nothing much. I will do just what I'll do is I will load with a parameter. Loaded gun, empty gun. Empty gun will not have the bullets. Loaded gun will have bullets. Same way, default constructor will not have the parameters. Loaded constructor will have the parameters. So now I'll be passing it as name. Okay, what I'm trying to do. So now I'm in Firefox loaded constructor. So I just wanted to print something. So that I'll go here. So now I just wanted to pass this. Okay, I came here. Simple. I just wanted to passing the constructor here. Now, if you come to the runner class, and in the runner class, so which is a method which we have created for Firefox, right? So just I will enable this one. See, it was not throwing me any error. So this is which constructor?
Constructor.
That is a constructor. But what type of constructor is that?
Default.
Default constructor. If I wanted to load with the loaded constructor, just I need to print Chris. Done. If I run this one, what it will happen? See, the first thing, what you need to understand, if you executed or if you created any particular object reference, the first thing it will be called is whatever the things we have been written in the constructor. So it will be, last time also I have been given, right? It's like first bodyguard. It will go, boss, my boss is coming backside. So he will make all the arrangements. That's the way, whenever we are calling a particular class. So first the constructor will come and the constructor will initialize all the variables. Now I see simple, I just pass here the Chris and it printed over here. Pretty simple, right? We understand default constructor, loaded constructor. So loaded constructor means if we pass the parameters, means what you meant by method overloading? We have given the principles of method overloading last time. What are this?
Same name.
So method overloading is nothing but having the same name with different parameters or different type of data types. So that is called method overloading. Now here it comes another picture. First of all, what is a polymorphism? The name itself, you understand, polymorphism. Poly means, mono means one. Poly means many, many. Morphism, forms, many forms. So if you see here, dog will bark, cat will say meow meow, human will talk, buffalo will baa. So this is what means, but all the animals are, what are they trying to do? They're trying to speak, they're trying to communicate. So this is called polymorphism. The same way, now you come to the same concept. We have trying to talk, but we are talking with a different languages. So here we are passing with one parameter and we don't have here parameter. If I create another constructor, I can create with the multiple parameters. So then there is no problem. See, if I create it like this, it will throw me error. But now if I create it with another parameter, so now I will be creating with an int, 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 you can say that row, whatever you wanted. See, now immediately gone. So this is called our overloaded. So now what overloaded here? Which method we are overloading? Constructor. So then this concept is called as constructor overloading. If you are doing method overloading, then it called as method overloading. Pretty simple, right? Now there is another concept in the polymorphism which is called as overriding. What do you mean by overriding? Okay, you are introducing me a new terminology, overriding. Here I will not show you those things because it might be confusing, but I will do one small experiment. This is class A, okay, and class A extends, means this is class, sorry, this is class B. Okay, now what it does means public class B extends A. I'm just extending. Clear, right? Now what I will try to do is I will try to create another class. What is this? Come on. I'm just trying to create another class and I'm trying to inherit class B. Okay. Now this is class C and what I'm trying to inherit? I'm trying to inherit class B. So what is this type of inheritance called as?
Multi-level.
Multi-level inheritance. That is what we are doing, right? B is extending A and C is extending B. This is multi-level inheritance. You're getting it, right? Now, I have a method called in this add, in the class A, I have a method called add. Okay. Now, here I have another method called same add, and in class C, I'm trying to call that add method. Now you tell me, will this method will come here or this method will become here? Boss, don't tell me that multiple inheritance. That is not possible. So that is the concept of this. See, at one shot, at one level, we are trying to inherit that method. So this is not possible. This is an ambiguity issue. But here, this is multi-level. So now, if add method is there, so this we can access here. But in B also, I created another add method. And when I try to create, means call the add method, which add will come? So for an example, here it will come as hi, means SYSOP, and here it will come as hello. So now when I call here add method, will it print hi or will it print hello?
Hello.
Perfect. Why? Because what is the answer? You know, this add method will override this method. Because boss, you are old. Okay, now I'm youngster. Because immediately you are whatever the class you are extending, that particular method only it will come. If you have the same method in the class A, that would be overridden. So this is called method overriding. Guys, this is much more important concept. Method overloading, method overriding. So why I tell about all this story? Because now if you see here what it was trying to do. So that is the reason it was not taking the interface, whatever we have not implemented here. What it was trying to do is, we are telling that whenever I created a class, the object reference here for the Firefox, the Firefox itself, it was saying that, boss, this is an overridden method. Whatever you do here, this only statement will come. That's what we are explicitly informing to the people. So this is called override annotation, which by default it will give to us. Now you understand why I told about the complete polymorphism? Because
so every interface will have override method.
Perfect. Yeah. Perfect. So that's a thumb rule. Every interface, when implementing, okay, those methods will be overridden or override. Okay. Okay. Now I'll ask you one question. So if you see here, whenever I'm trying to do the concept, see, now I'm calling Firefox, I'm calling IE, I'm calling Chrome. What is this called as? This concept, what we are trying to do?
We are creating a object reference for that.
Okay. So now what I'm trying to do is, dynamically at the runtime, I'm assigning the driver. Driver, take Firefox. Or driver, you take IE. Driver, you take the Chrome. Based upon this driver will perform according to that particular method, and then it will execute. So this concept is called runtime polymorphism. On execution time or on the runtime, it was assigning dynamically. Okay, the concept of assigning dynamically on the runtime, it is called runtime polymorphism. I know that I was overloading with new topics, but still, just for an example, I told you about it. Okay, if you don't understand runtime polymorphism, absolutely fine, but you need to understand the concept, what is interface with all this stuff, and how the classes has been created, and how we will be with the runner class file. In the runner class file, how we are executing it. So these are the pointers which we need to infer. So guys, what we discussed now today. So first we have been discussed about the basic of inheritance. So in the inheritance, what are the types of inheritances we have having it? Single level, multi-level, and then multiple inheritance. And then once we discussed this one, then we discussed about what is an interface or why it was required. So at that time, we went to this particular slider. So this is for the interface we have discussed, and this is for we discussed for single level inheritance and multiple level inheritance, and then this we discussed for multiple inheritance where the ambiguity problem. So then what we have done, then we started to create an interface, and we have given 5 thumb rules. The first thumb rule is the interface will have the abstract methods. So abstract methods are nothing but which it will be declared but not defined. So that is the way we will be having all these methods like this. And then we have created the class files, Chrome and Firefox IE, and we try to implement. So if you wanted to implement the interfaces, then we need to use the implements keyword. And when we implemented an interface, whatever the abstract methods are there, all the methods should be implemented. So these are the rules which have been seen, and we seen that we can't create an object for an interface. And why we can't create, because it's an abstract class, abstract method. So that's the reason we can't create anything. And then interfaces will not have the constructor. And every interfaces when we implemented, it would be overridden. So there we have been discussed about the concept of polymorphism, overriding and overloading. So overloading, we have discussed method overloading and constructor overloading. So those both things we have been discussed. And then when it comes to the overriding, so we have discussed about this particular slider. So in the multiple inheritance, so how it was possible, we have been discussed over here. Okay. So and then where we have discussed about runtime polymorphism also, but it was so confusing, so I will not talk about it. So guys, now it's time for the questions. So any questions for us? Guys, any questions?
In general, we can take them different.
Resume recording. So if you see here, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to create another interface. So what are the other interfaces available in Selenium? Guys, you should know about this all. Okay, web element. Web element is another interface. Okay, web element interface. Now, when I create for the web element interface, so now quickly I'll create the methods. What are the methods available in the web element? What are the web elements? In a web page, what are the web pages? So web elements.
The buttons.
Yes, simple. What are the buttons, text boxes? These are the web elements. What are the actions you perform on the buttons or things? Simple, send keys. So those are the methods which we have it in the web element. Now public, they segregated it very neatly. Okay. Now what I'll be trying to do? Click. This will have this interface. Now public void. What are the other things we can do? Whether the button is enabled. Okay, and this. So now these are the 3 methods. Okay, can I do this? Can I implement multiple interfaces? Okay, I will try. Wow, it was giving me one error. What is that error? It's had to ask to add me some more methods. So now if you see here, those all methods by default it populated to me. So what is this thing is, if you see guys, this is a disadvantage. We can't extend 2 classes, but we can implement 2 interfaces. Okay, now if you see here, in one interface, you have all the methods related to the WebDriver, and in another interface, you have all the methods of web element. So that is where, Sudha, you can do one thing. Whatever the required methods which it should use in all the classes, there you can use it. And if you don't want to use it, then create another interface and put it into that interface. Okay, now you see here. Now, if I call these particular methods, okay, I'll be writing these methods here now. So just hold on for a second. Okay, I'll be saying that this is send keys method. Okay, now I'll just wanted to call this method in my runner class file. So what I'll be calling driver dot, okay, send keys. Okay, and I was doing this. What happened? What is the error it was showing to me? What we are trying to do, see what we are trying to do, create a method send keys in the WebDriver interface. Whether this send keys is in the WebDriver?
No.
But what we have done the mistake? We created an object reference for WebDriver. Now what I need to do immediately?
Change that.
What I need to do? Guys, you're not telling me still. What I'm trying to do?
Default.
You need to change the WebDriver interface.
Boss, now I need to create an object reference for this. Okay, now if I created this one, okay, now what I need to do? Now I'm creating a reference for this. All methods are available in WebDriver. For this driver, I can access all. So now for this web element interface, I need to take this and I need to keep it over here. See, error gone. Now you execute it. Perfect, right? Okay, even now I don't want it to create the another driver. So what I can do is interface can implement. Hey God, I know this will be a little bit confusing, but don't worry, just stay with me. What it was throwing me error? Syntax error. Implements extends. Oh, okay. Okay. What I'm trying to do? Extend. Extends means whatever the methods available here, I'm trying to take it into the WebDriver interface. Now, what it was asking me, because as it's extended, whatever the methods available in the web element also I need to keep it, or else it will throw me the error message. Okay, got it? Simple. Now Safari, here Safari, you got it. So now if you see here send keys and all the things. Why? Because we extended this one. Extended means a single level instance. Whatever the methods are in the web element, now it will be accessed with the web interface. Exactly this is what happening in Selenium. Now you go to the runner file and now we try to call this one with the driver. Will it work or not? Absolutely it will work. See, this is the reason we are not creating objects reference for other interfaces, because this WebDriver interface has been extends other interfaces. See, now if I execute this one, how it's working? Perfect. So for this one only, I prepared one particular slider. Actually, many of the people have this particular confusion. That's the reason we did it. See, this is WebDriver interface. Totally, we do have 11 interfaces: search context, WebDriver, web element, take screenshot, and all these are interfaces. So WebDriver will have 13 methods. See, what are the methods available? Just now I asked you, right? In WebDriver method, we have close, get current URL, get page source, get title, get Windows handler, get Windows handles, manage, quit, switch to. And here we'll have another 13 methods for web element. And this is search context. You use find element for XPaths. So from which interface it will come? Search context interface. And the JavaScript executor will get these two methods. And take screenshot, get screenshot method. So overall this 13 plus 11, 24 plus 2, 26 plus 2, 28, 29, and we have another 4 to 5 methods from here. Overall 36 methods it will get it. So now this all, see, if you see here, WebDriver interface extends search context. So search context is a super interface. These all questions are in the in the interview they will ask you. What is a super interface of the WebDriver? WebDriver for web element super interface is search context. And web element extends take screenshot. And that's where all these methods will be extended with the WebDriver. Now, all these methods are available in WebDriver. That is the only reason we will be creating an object here for WebDriver only. So now this WebDriver will hold all 36 methods because it extends different interfaces methods. Got it? Thanks, Sudha. So thanks for that particular question. So which made me give this all information. Okay, you need to remember one thing, guys. Interfaces can extend the interfaces, and classes can implement the interfaces. So this is a very important concepts which we need to understand. And this is the Selenium architecture, how this will work for us. Got it now? Good to know. And these are the methods available. If you see, this is the 36 methods. Can't we remember? Every day we are using these methods. Simple. If you are performing some action on the web elements, then it's a web element interface. If you are doing get, close, quit, get parent, page sources and all these things, these are related to the WebDriver. And search context. Search means you are finding something. So find element and find elements. So JavaScript executor, execute async means these are means for clicking JavaScript executors. So that's where we use these particular methods. Got it? Actually, where you'll get all this information is you need to go for what is the basic mother site we need to go? Selenium HQ. Okay. So once you go to the Selenium HQ, okay, we need to go for the downloads. In the downloads, okay, if you go here, you are working on the Java, right? So here you'll have the Java docs. If you click on this particular Java docs, you will see all this. So if you click on this one, see now this is on Selenium. So we can get all the, this is a package, Selenium package. What are the classes available here? You remember by ID, by XPath we will identify. So now if you click on this one, it gives you the complete implementation and all this stuff. So we should go through all these things, but I made your life a little bit easier rather than going to this all. So just if you refer this particular slider, you can understand what are the methods available for this interface and this interfaces. For an example, I will show you this one also so that it will be much more useful. Can you help me out in getting this Selenium desktop? Okay. If you see here, guys, class names would be in the same straight. If it is italic means it will be slightly bent. So those are the interfaces. So you should know how to search for the methods here. So this is most important. Everyone should go through this particular Java docs. Then only we can understand the complete flows and all the stuff. Okay, I'll just go to this one. WebDriver. See, WebDriver by default it came as interface. WebDriver. Now, what is the super interface of a WebDriver? Search context. And what are these other files it was doing? See, you can see in the diagram. In the diagram, remote WebDriver class and Chrome driver class, IE class, Edge class, and all the stuff. See the documentation, Chrome driver, and the things. And what are the methods available in the WebDriver interface? If you come down, you can see the method names. See, close, find element, find elements, get current URL, get page titles and things. So this is what we kept it here, right? So this is a way we need to go through the documentation. Clear? I know that I given more and more stuff over here. I dumped it, but yeah, this is a most important concept which you need to understand if you wanted to work on Selenium. If you understand these things, then absolutely